Games Workshop, I demand a remaster of Dawn of War. I'm just kidding. I think I play with the Unity mod, so it's I'm already having a great time. But I've been thinking, GW, I would like for you to release 3 things, and ladies and gentlemen, these 3 things are important to me. I'm not saying this will fundamentally draw more attention to Warhammer. I'm not even saying this is going to make Warhammer better. But I am saying that I, who has given so much of my money to this big corporation, you want to see how much money? Here's some of the books. Yeah. And here's some more of the books. Yeah. And there's even countless other ones on Audible. So I think as a consumer, I'm allowed to make some demands. So number 1, and we're going to start by, the most nerdiest requests. Number 1, I would like a book that kind of has the written language of every faction there. Okay, Connor, what are you saying, bro? Tyranids don't have a language. I don't care, bro. Write some little squiggles about them just growling and shit. They have a hive mind. Make it interesting. I don't care. Orcs just don't speak in this Cockney accent. They kind of do. But they have their own language. They're Orcish. I kind of want to hear that. Eldari. I want that Eldari alphabet. Give it to me, bro. Nostraman. I like, Nostraman. Or, what are the other, Calibanite. I want the languages, the accents, all the linguistic info of all the home worlds, of everything. Because language to me in 40K is something that's like really been on my mind recently. It's easy for me to picture everybody in 40K having an English accent because that's how the narrators read it, and they all have accents, or they're Russian or some sort of European accent. Personally, I like to imagine they're all American because it's more comedic for me. But throwing all that aside, guys, I just want the language stuff. I think that's so cool, and it's bizarre and awesome. And you know what? You can even use them as a joke. You can put like world eaters on there, and you know what? You can't put anything for Nucera, so you can just put in like angry screaming and just have one full page of just screaming. I just think it'd be funny. Number 2, GW. I want more minor Xenos inclusion. I know they've been doing really, really well, and if you guys haven't heard, there's a new Leagues of Votan book coming. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I put it in my community post. I think it's Gav Thorpe. And people said he did really good with dwarves, but he didn't do good with Eldar. Keep in mind, I haven't read Path of the Eldar or any of that yet, so I can't really speak to that, but I do like a lot of the books he's worked on. So people are saying it's going to be a flip of a coin. I don't think so. I think it's going to be really good because I do like most of his stuff, and I've been screeching to the hills and to anyone who will listen on this 111 subscribed YouTube channel, anybody who would listen to me, I would like more minor Xenos, and I guess that includes League of Votan, even though I don't know what their thing is. They're like distantly related to humanity, but they're not called squats anymore. I don't know the whole lore, but we're about to get, it's been 900 years, as one of my subscribers said, so anything. But more minor Xenos, anything besides like Kroot or, the Tau have so many auxiliary races that you can include into a story and it wouldn't feel out of place or forced. And again, I said it, GW's been progressively getting better with Xenos, but now, since I've given them so much of my hard-earned money, I'm making the demand to have more Xenos, just minor ones, because they're cool, and we don't get to see a lot of Kroot warriors or any of the Tau ones. The Tau have, I think they're called like Vorgs or something. They're basically like bio titans. They're just literal Godzillas. You don't get to see that. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Super cool. And number 3, and this might be a little controversial because this was on Reddit and everyone's, oh, dude, don't look up Reddit. But this was a valid, an interesting conversation being had. Someone said, and if you're not familiar with comics, there's a certain canon that's always sort of being followed. Not too much different from Warhammer, but obviously it is. Comics have a whole different set of scenarios in which stories are canon or canon to that respective universe, or only canon within certain contexts where the event's canon but the story isn't. If you're even, if you're a fan of Warhammer and you like the lore, then you'll sort of understand what I'm trying to say. But someone, I don't remember the person's name, they brought up what if Warhammer had an Elseworlds, like, sort of category? And the Elseworlds is sort of like DC's, like, you know, what if stories, and it would be the same for Marvel. They have their own what if stories, like, and a lot of people didn't like that, which I thought was sort of weird. Like, there's a bunch of fan fictions with alternate heresies, the Dornian heresy, the Lionel heresy. I think there's one with Gilliman. But, like, I don't see why that's a bad thing. Like, you can incorporate, I guess I'll ask the author's permission and all that. I don't know how to, you know, like, that's not my thing, you know. Not saying I do it, but you have this mixture of what could have happened, or you change these minor events or tweak them to have certain characters with certain allegiances. I don't really get why that's a bad idea, and I think GW should sort of do an alternate what if scenario on, you know, Warhammer Plus or whatever. I don't subscribe to that. I'm gonna be real. I get any info from that from other YouTubers. I'm not privy to that. I'm not paying for that because I already pay so much. No one tells you that books are kind of like models, and that I start reading them and then I immediately go buy another book because, you know, for some reason it's kind of like an unfinished model, if you will. See, you just start with things and then it keeps going. Nobody tells you that the book addiction is almost as real as the miniature addiction. But that being said, again, I think an Elseworlds sort of scenario or category would be cool. But I think it would be better animated than it would be in a novel sort of setting. I think if you do it animated, it's a lot more fun. Or even just isolated, what they kind of already do, isolated adventures. But again, I don't know. I think an Elseworld story would be cool. Like, what if it wasn't Horus who was War Master? What if it was Sanguinius? Or what if Sanguinius wasn't the one who died? What if their homeworlds were switched? Just cool, you know, like, it's not major, and it's not going to have any serious implications to the lore at all, because, again, it's not canon. It's just for, like, shits and giggles. And I know you can argue, Connor, there's fan fiction for that, so why would GW take the time and interest? And here's what I would say. It'll make them money. If that doesn't get a corporation, you know, obviously, who am I? I'm a dude in the basement. You know, I'm in the rat's nest right now. Do I look like I can give you sound financial advice? No. But I've poured enough money into this hobby to sort of think that I can kind of understand and get a good grasp of what I think people who also enjoy the hobby would like. I can't speak to the model perspective, but again, those are just the three things I think Warhammer should have, because again, GW gets some money and they can get my money because I'd be interested in those things. But other than that, guys, I also would like to hear what you guys think Warhammer should have and what they should release. And I don't care if it's, you know, Age of Sigmar. I don't care if it's 40K, if it's novels or models or shit, I don't know, trading cards. Just tell me. This is a conversation I've been thinking about a lot, and I do think it's worth having. So, you know, my three things. I'd love to hear your three things. So other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Expect some Prophet of the Wog very, very soon. And that's it. I am out of here.